Doing a midweek update. So today is Wednesday, the 13th of April. So quite a few trades playing out and a few lines to be very, very clean to go into the later part of this week. So let's have a look. So the dollar, so as I said, a market open, we're looking for price to come back down, test here. It then pushed up, now reacting off this 100.5 level. So right now what I'm sort of looking at the dollar is, I believe what we're going to see is we're going to see it kind of test this 99.8 region here, and then from there, if we can find support, we might see the dollar push back up into 100.5. Otherwise, we'll see it break back down to this 99.4, 99.3 area, and then from there, it can either find support and begin its move higher again, or we'll see it break lower. So have a look at AUD USD. So market open, let me just mark that up where exactly we open. So you can see really not much movement, right? There's definitely been trades. So market open, I said, let's look for price to come back up here, test, respect, and then move lower. It did exactly that, came up, tested, and fell. And then today, it actually printed a beautiful reversal off of 0.74. Absolutely gorgeous trade. A few of the mentorship students spotted this and shared this in the group as well. So, I mean, right there's your entry off the 2 hour. Clear 0.74, 4 hour double bottom. You're in easy 1 to 4. Like, you probably gonna go with a 15 to 20 pip stop loss on this because, you know, it's AUD USD. You really don't need that big of a stop loss. So up into here, it's a 1 to 3. And if you did like a 15 pip, which is a bit more aggressive, if you know what you're doing when it comes to monitoring your stop loss like students do, then you'd be fine. But there was literally no drawdown on this trade, and it's a 1 to 4. But like I said, if you did 20 pips, that's an easy 1 to 3, assuming this breaks higher. But I don't actually think this will. So let's have a look at what I'm expecting now from this. So we actually came up and faked out above structure here. Not really a full retest. So what it's kind of doing is it's coming back up to do a proper retest at 0.747, 0.748. So what I think we're going to see is this pull back up into here, respect, and then see that move lower into the 0.736 level that I was talking about. So if this can come up here on the 1 hour and kind of, or 2 hour, and kind of come up here and give some nice hourly rejections off this level, you could look for price to push up like this, get that price action for a sell down into the lowers. So again, something sort of like this, and again, you know, 15 to 20 pips, 20 pips to 25 being the max, something like that. You know, again, a nice little 1 to 3, and then if it breaks lower, you see a nice little 1 to 5. So that's something you could look for on AUD USD to get a nice possible sell at the end of this week. Otherwise, of course, let's flip the bias. Let's say this was to break above. You could look for something like this to take this higher. With that, you'd be looking at most likely a dollar weakness scenario, but again, if the dollar was to find support at this 99.8 region here, then most likely what will happen is to push up, the dollar finds support, begins to push higher, and then we see this begin to push lower with that dollar strength. That's something you could look for there. CAD JPY, so broke above structure here, tested, pushed higher. We actually took a buy on this yesterday in the mentorship program. So for example, price pushed up, like I said, broke, retested 992. Really, really clean price action there, or there is your entry. We actually got in, I think, here because this was a little bit around market close. We had to wait for spreads to drop, 20 and 25 pips, and you're off. So I actually got stopped down on this at break even, but it has since pushed higher. A few of the mentorship students are still holding this. So that's an easy 1 to 3.5 so far. I do see this actually moving up into this sort of 101 region, 100.5, 101 region. So what I'd be looking for now on CAD JPY is pretty much the exact same setup as this. Look for this to come back, retest for the move higher. That simple. Just look for literally this setup here. Go down to the 1 hour, the 30, the 2 hour. Look for the same price action to occur, but on this level. And if it does occur, you can look for the buy. Otherwise, what we'd be looking for is if price was to break below, you could look for something like this to go lower. Again, you always want to be open to both directions in the market, because when you get married to just the buy setup, then you're pretty much going to look for just the buy setup. You're going to look for any reason to get in. Whereas if you have an open mind that anything can happen, the price can move up, it can move down, then you're going to be more patient, because no matter what, it's a trade coming your way. You just be patient enough for that trade to present itself, whether it breaks or fails to stay above structure. So gold. Remember I shared this, I think it was beginning of this week, or maybe it was last week. I haven't covered gold for a bit. When was this? 6th to 5th of April. So last week I covered this, literally wicked down the structure and has pushed up and has not looked back since. At the beginning of the week, it then broke above structure and then pushed higher. Honestly, I'm not too interested in gold right now. Yeah, I'm not really interested in gold, so let's just leave that for now. Euro JPY, so actually, these aren't my normal pairs. 1 second, guys. So CAD JPY covered, AUD USD covered, Euro AUD, actually, let me have a look at that. So Euro AUD, again, I said market open, look for price to come back down, test structure here. It just blew through. There was literally no price action to even indicate a buy. But then what happened is it formed a double bottom at 1.45 along with a 1 hour double bottom right here and then pushed up. So even if, again, very similar price action to AUD USD, right? Just entering off the 1 hour, you go with like a 35, 40 pip stop loss. You know, you'd be up an easy 1 to 3 right now. Plus, it can go a hell of a lot higher. So what I'd be looking for now is for this to do a similar setup here, something like this for a move higher. So if you go down the 1 hour, again, just look for the same sort of setup, just something similar to this, or like what we saw on CAD JPY. Just look at all this beautiful rejection. You look for something like that on EA here, because I know a few of you guys caught this buy here. If this was to come back down and test this again, you could look for another buy off this level and then take this up towards, first I'd be looking to take this up towards, let's have a look here. I'd be really looking around this 1.49 region through here. Like, again, like a move from here to there, be easy 300 pips, which for EA isn't much. Like this whole move right here was what? 125, 130 pips, and that's today. So easy, clean setup coming this way, coming our way on this. So make sure you look at that. Probably around London tomorrow being Thursday. EuroCAD failed to stay above structure, broke below. Again, testing structure again. So by the time I get this video out, the trade might be gone, but it might be something to reflect back on. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, and entry even here might have been ideal for move higher. But if this does come back down again, you can look for something like this and see if you can get a buy up into the highs. Otherwise, again, you know, what could always happen as we failed to stay above structure, keep in mind if it does push up into here, it could do a retest of 1.375 for a move lower. So it's definitely worth noting. We could see a move lower on this period. Just if you do get the buy, you could look to take partials and then maybe hedge it. Last one I want to cover is USD JPY. So very, very clean. Let me mark the market open on this because I believe, and this is not my chart. 1 second. Okay, cool. So the market open was here. So broke above structure, tested, pushed up, easy buy setup. Now right now this actually broke above, failed to stay above 1.258. So what you'd be looking for here is a retest to go lower. But what I do think will most likely occur is this might come back down and do another retest of 125 for the move higher. So that's something for you guys to look at there. News-wise, there's really nothing else this week that we need to be aware of. I'll probably upload another video on Friday, if not Saturday, covering what occurred this week. If you guys have any questions, let me know.